does the underwater side of things put pressure on you to catch during the filming? Because he's put when he's vlogging, he feels under pressure to catch more, and I can relate to that. But yeah, go on with the underwater side of things.
Okay, so I think whether it's underwater or not, and obviously I've made many fishing films in many forms. Um, if the pressure to catch, I don't necessarily think so. You can still make a good film that's enjoyed and is enjoyable to watch and not catch anything. But if there are no fish in front of the screen, the film is going in the bin. We're not going to use it. So catching a carp, no, I don't necessarily believe you have to catch one. And we've released films in the past where we don't catch. As long as we still see lots of stuff going on, we've
Yeah,
had winter sessions that have been quite quiet in terms of the fishing, but you still notice things. There might be stuff that happens with bird life. There might be stuff that happens with how rigs land or how something else happens. There's because you have an underwater camera, and a big part of the reason we do this, and I like doing it so much, it isn't so centered around actually watching people hook carp. I've seen a lot of it now. I've done a lot of it now. 9 times out of 10, excuse me, 9 times out of 10, when they catch a carp, it's kind of the same thing happens. They're on the spot, they're feeding. You're generally going to get spat out once or twice, and then you're going to hook one in the end. That's kind of, to put it
yeah,
boringly, I suppose.
yeah,
Um, but it's all the other stuff that happens around that. And whether you actually catch or not, sometimes the best days of underwater are when people don't catch, but there are fish there all the time. They're clearing them out. They're doing this, they're doing that. So catching, no, don't get me wrong. The films are always better if you catch. Any fishing film is better, really, if someone
yeah,
catches one. But the key with underwater is having fish traffic in front of the cameras. And I've
yeah,
done a few shoots in the past where we sit there all week, nothing happens, we see barely anything in front of camera, and those films don't get released because there's nothing to show.